Nigerians at this point in time. And they'll always say basically the mistake is the fact that it's the fault, all right, of the political elites. I remember Peter Obi telling us last week that we should pray for our political elites, that they're the ones that have put us into this quagmire. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Political Spotlight. I would implore you to kindly join us right about now while we actually dissect a couple of issues that I would actually say is quite pertinent. Mr. Martin Donovo will be joining us this evening via the telephone, and I also have Mr. Lawal Ekundaya right here with me as well in the studio. So we dissect some of the political updates, all right, in Nigeria's political space. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to be speaking too much. I'm just going to be playing out some reactions basically on all I want to discuss today. First of all, I'm going to play an insert of Saddam's. He's one of the obedient movement, or rather one of those who have had to lean with the ADC, and they're calling out the opposition, saying they are exactly weak, basically because of the e-transmission, which the Senate president has declined to allow have access by saying that it is only INEC that requires that jurisdiction. It's not within the Senate, and they're maintaining the old way. The Senate president has responded by telling us that 9 states out of the 36 states of the Federation does not have network. So if they don't have network, how has elections been conducted there all this while? So in other words, INEC should do what? Go back to manual. Meanwhile, INEC was the one that proposed the live transmission of results. That was one of the things that made Nigerians support Mahmoud Yakub in 2022. Well, let's take a listen to this.
Dear ADC coalition members, dear leaders of the coalition, this my message today might sound very harsh, but the truth has to be said at all times. I owe my loyalty to my country. I owe my loyalty to Nigeria first, before any individual or any party. Nigeria is sinking right before our eyes. Everybody can see it. In fact, that is the reason why you guys had to drop your different parties and come together under one umbrella to form a coalition against this current government. We are at a point in time in our country whereby we need effective, serious, purposeful driven opposition. There is no reason why Bola Ahmed Tinubu's government is even in the conversation for re-election in the first place. The single reason why they're in the conversation is because you guys in the opposition have been an epic failure. You have failed in the duty of an opposition. You guys have allowed opposition become you now trade to the Nigerian citizens. The citizens that are bearing the brunt of this bad governance. The citizens that are every day waking up to see what they can put, how they can afford to put food on their tables, how they can pay their bills. Citizens that have been pushed to the wall that every single day is all about survival. You want them to still play your roles for you guys. You guys are politicians. It is your job to put pressure on the ruling party. You guys have failed woefully. And somebody would have expected that you guys came out of the coalition, that you guys would be sensible enough to start doing the work you guys have failed to do for the past 2 to 3 years. Instead, all of you guys are all focused on grabbing tickets. You're all focused on being the ticket bearer for a party that is already being rigged out of an elections. Then when I make tweets or posts, you people also make tweets and post. You want to be president. You want to get into office. But the work that you have to do to get into office, you're not willing to do it. You're not abdicating your job to me, a Nigerian, that I'm struggling to put food on my table. I should do your job for you. The moment you people make one tweet, Atiku make tweet, Peter Obi make tweet, it is okay. The people feel like your tweets have addressed the situation. That's why Bola Ahmed Tinubu is chilling. That's why he's happy. That's why he has not had any pressure. An opposition party that in 3 years of being in opposition, you have not staged one protest in the country is a failed opposition party. One protest against all the policies, all the maladministration, the corruption, everything going on in this country. You guys have not staged one protest. One. And you want to topple this government. I'm just here to say my own truth. And let it be on record that when you people were misbehaving, that some of us really spoke up privately and in public. If Nigerians are failing, they should come out and protest. This was the opposition in 2015. Buhari and co staging protest. Then Tinubu and co staged Ojota protest. You can't even mobilize the civil societies. Nigerians are abjectly suffering today. Nigerians are hungry. Nigerians are passing through pain. Nigerians are like sheep without a shepherd. How many of you people, if all of you come together and say, let us go and hit the street, and Nigerians are behind the people, who is Bola Ahmed Tinubu that he want to shoot any of you? What kind of fear? I want to understand the fear that is in people's head. I want to really understand that fear. That if all of you come out, Tinubu will kill all of you. This is insanity. Honestly, at this point, I'm beginning to honestly think that you guys are actually control opposition. That you guys are actually working for Tinubu. Oh, just make tweets and make it be saying Nigerians go talk, say I don't talk. The electionship people are fighting for a ticket to be candidate, the flag bearer of a party, It's already being rigged before the game. Tinubu has appointed his INEC chairman. Tinubu has already created his own rigging machine. You're seeing evidently he's buying all the elites. In your presence, we have 30 governors in APC. When they ask people, we say that, now the people they vote. The people that cannot trust you people, that don't believe you people, and if people are not strong enough to fight for them, and the people you want to fight for you. Politics is a symbiotic relationship. It is not a parasitic relationship. And what we are getting from you guys is a parasitic relationship. Everything is on the citizens. What are you people doing? Presenting yourself is not enough. Presenting yourself for office is not enough. There's a whole lot of work you guys as politicians need to be doing. In your very before, you guys saw what happened in 2023, how the elections were rigged for me people. Someone would have expected that the opposition would have been championing electoral reforms. So citizens should champion electoral reforms. Citizens should vote. Citizens should protect their votes. Citizens should install people as kings. What did you do? What have you done? You guys have been an absolute shame and disappointment to me as a person and to millions of Nigerians that look up to you guys. And if nobody's going to tell people this truth, it has to be said. Left for me, if you people cannot come out and tell Nigerians, tell civil societies, we're going to occupy the National Assembly until Pabio and his Senate do the right thing. If you people cannot do this simple job, none of you deserve to be in Aso Rock in 2027. You don't deserve it. And this is me speaking without any emotions attached. I don't want to hear anything. He's an Igbo man, he's a Fulani man, he's a this. If you people cannot come together and champion a cause, and we drag out Nigerians in their millions and occupy the National Assembly until the Senate do the right thing, because free and fair elections is our enviable right as citizens, you people do not deserve to be in power in 2027. Because so far so good, all you guys have been good at is at making posts like Gen Zs.
All right, that was Sadams. He's one of the supporters of the obedient movement, or part of the obedient movement, and also those that have been backing up the ADC. They got really angry, saying that in 2012, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu used the insecurity as a political vice to turn a lot of Nigerians against Jonathan's government, really put Jonathan on the hot seat. So what's going on with the opposition? Others believe that those who are calling for a protest, who claim to be obedient, are not obedient, that they're basically supporters of the APC trying to blackmail and ensnare them. I don't know how that turned, that the dynamic of 2012 is not the same thing as now. The person who was president is not the same person as now, that the person who was president then was more flexible, allowed democratic values to be in charge compared to this administration. However, I'm sure you guys know Randy Peters, Peter Akka, that's his name. He has been one of the forerunners of the electoral reform ever since before now. Throughout last year, Randy Peters has been galvanizing, being part of live interviews across major television channels and also some, podcast, enlightening Nigerians and having to pull the hands of the senators to please make sure that they pass through the electoral reform. Let's take a listen to this.
Has decided to wage war on democracy and by extension the lives of Nigerians by hitting the heart of what should keep us as a society. Mandatory electronic transmission of result is what the National Assembly has rejected. And Nigeria, as it is today, we must realize that the APC-led federal government has decided to wage a war against democracy and by extension the lives of all of us as Nigerians. Because an unpopular government who know that they cannot win an election when it comes to free, fair and credible polls, know that the only option they have today is electoral malpractice, a corrupt INEC and a corrupt judiciary. But there is history to read. I said in 2023 that Nigeria made a mistake in 2015. Buhari was a mistake that should never have been made. Tinubu is the consequence of that mistake. And Nigeria, the likely instance or scenario is likened to this body of a sick individual in almost a dying state that should have been handed over to professional medical personnel to treat, was rather handed over to organ harvesters who have no interest in fixing that body but are harvesting the remaining vital organs for personal gains. Nigeria today is almost completely in the hands of criminal elements, and from top to bottom, what we call government is organized criminality. So for more than 2 years after the 2023 charade that was conducted by Mahmoud Yakubu, where he collected more than 300 billion and claimed that electronic technology will be the game changer, but somehow there was a glitch. He was not held to account. He has been nominated and confirmed to become an ambassador. Now the people have said we do not want to make electronic real-time transmission optional for INEC. We need it to be mandatory, and there should be consequences if INEC decides to go against its guidelines. The 10th Assembly, which is a rubber stamp assembly, the most unproductive, by the way, in the history of Parliament, decided to surreptitiously, through the back door, pass an act that is only going to become a document of fraud to aid and abet corruption and election rigging. And any well-meaning Nigerian who means well for our life must wake up and resist it, because our keeping quiet or our collective silence has emboldened Akpabio to convert the 10th Assembly into what it has become today.
What do you make of the scenario where we have senators speaking from both sides of their mouth? Some are saying 85% of senators supported transmission of
Every member of the 10th National Assembly from top to bottom should be thoroughly ashamed of themselves. They should be ashamed of themselves for conducting themselves in the way and manner they have carried themselves from the inauguration of that 10th Assembly. Both those in the APC and those in the opposition, because it is their collective docility that has converted the Assembly to become almost a den of unarmed robber, cavalier in their impunity, only able to aid and sustain corruption and criminality in government. When did the hearing for electoral reforms begin? How long did it take for us to pass an act where you could change an anthem, the national anthem, in one day? If President Tinubu wants to borrow loan from Money Point to clear Pampe, he can get it within 5 minutes on the rubber stamp Akpabio Senate. Yet an electoral bill for more than 2 years, committees from both the House and the Senate have been meeting, and it has
if you can hear me terrestrially. That is for all of you who are within the bandwidth where you can hear me. But for a couple of you on YouTube listening at this point in time, we sincerely do apologize. They're working on the audio. We don't know what's going on, but they're working on it currently. So thank you so much for your patience. All right. Apparently, I'm seeing messages. Terrestrial audience can hear me. Thank you very much. So in the meantime, right, like I told you, now the situation with the $9 million, I don't know if you guys can recall the $9 million, right? So basically something interesting happened. The House of Rep members have been speaking lately, and not Nigerian House of Rep members, the US House of Rep members. They're actually lambasting, the Nigerian government by saying you guys are having to have deals with lobbying firms and trying to cover up the scenario about the killings in Nigeria. Why are you doing that? It's quite embarrassing, and saying that it's something they're used to. It's almost like lambasting the government of the day for wanting to cover up what they're up to. Let's take a listen to one of the House of Rep members in the US speaking on it.
Is a quintessential example of that hatred for Jews and for Christians. And then you have a situation like in Nigeria, where more Christians have been killed there than anywhere else in the world. And you have a government in Nigeria that practices denial, a culture of denial. No, nothing to see here. They even hired DC. A big firm here in
D.C. The First Lady was here. She was here this week, and in fact, they wanted to come on the program to talk about religious freedom. And I said, I'm not going to give them. I'll meet with them. I'm happy to meet with anybody.
Same here.
But I'm not going to give them a platform to cover up what they're doing in Nigeria.
And that's just what it is, a massive cover-up. I met with a big delegation that came in, and it went for almost 2 hours. And the Attorney General of Nigeria said that this bishop I had at two of my hearings, you were there.
He testified right next to me.
Right next to you. A wonderful man. He said, he's a liar. And I said, whoa, stop that, And then they always do the thing, my wife's a Christian, or I'm a Christian, and my husband, it's like, don't tell me that. What is happening as churches are being firebombed, people are being killed in cold blood, abductions, which is very, very big there in Nigeria, of Christians especially, but others, but especially Christians. And there's this assault on faith that has gotten worse. Obama did nothing. Boko Haram flourished under his 8 years in office, and now
it was your persistent advocacy that actually eventually got them labeled as a terrorist organization.
For 3 years we tried, Tony, and I had hearings on it. We had people give very, very compelling testimony as to what Boko Haram was doing, and finally, on the day we were marking up my bill to tell the administration you have to declare them a FTO, foreign terrorist organization, that day, that hour, basically, they said, they're an FTO.
Yeah.
And it was like 3 years ago, we could have been working to find out where their sources of funding and weapons.
Before they kidnapped many of the girls.
That's right, the Chibok girls and many of the others were all. And that continues to this day.
Let me ask you about that, Congressman Smith, because as you say that it's gotten worse. You've got these dictators and tyrants in different parts of the world. My experience when I was chairing the USERF Commission, going to different countries, is that many of these bad actors have seen what's happened in America over the last 2 decades, where we have gone from one administration.
All right, so that's one of the House of Rep members who is actually saying that this is basically what the government of the day, Nigeria, is up to. $9 million using DCI firms to lobby and supposedly change the narrative. Meanwhile, daily you can see killings in Nigeria. We don't know if this is politically motivated, but there are questions on the opposition as to why no one is speaking, and that Nigerians should stop relying on the United States of America. They are the only ones that can help themselves. Nigerians are the only ones that can help themselves. In the meantime, Ojus Okalu, ironically, oh yes, I don't know how you guys will respond to this, is telling us to hold our leaders accountable. That politicians are stealing and they're the ones giving them bad names. I'm like, it was ridiculous. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I was like, what? What did you just say? He says they're the ones that corrupt. They're the ones that into drug business. That's some politicians. I'm sorry. Just take a listen to this, please. I can't laugh. I can't laugh alone. All right, just listen to Ojos Okalo here being asked about holding politicians and our leaders accountable, including him.
Excellency, there's a report by the intelligence agencies that there are a lot of fraudsters in the Nigerian government and the National Assembly, where you also serve. What's your reaction to that?
Well, I don't know about Nigerian government. I think when politics started changing in 1999, when we were governors, from 1999 to 2007, was a very good politics. It was humble. People were humbled. But at the time, everybody, even people who used to do 419, no, all over the world, people who used to do drugs and 419 started entering politics, and the politics changed. And the present administration have been very careful in addressing this matter. So any intelligence or community or anybody saying this, we are addressing the issue because it's a problem, and this is where people started dipping their hand directly to government coffers to use for themselves, and which is not right. So I'm sure that the government will address on these issues, and people will also address on these things as soon as possible, because it is not right to be using Nigerian people's money, which is not supposed to be used to do other things. And Nigerians and Nigerian people should hold their leaders, both in the state or federal or anywhere, accountable to their resource. And their resource will be very good for them to be used. We are making progress. President Tinubu has made a lot of progress in all fronts, and the progress will be a continuous something in the next few years. We will see the results. You can see changes are coming, but it's not going to be as soon as people are thinking. There are a lot of fraudsters who lies with people's name, who lies in all fronts, and they continue lying because when they lie, they take from Peter to give to Paul. They take from Paul to give to Joseph. They take from Yusuf to give to Sule. So these are things we are seeing here. People lie with your name. People blackmail people unnecessarily for nothing's sake in the name of politics. So I hope that we'll continue to expand the scope of what we are doing so that people will have genuineness of their democracy, and Nigerian people will enjoy democracy.
All right. That was Audius Okalo there. You heard him, right? Hold your leaders accountable. Politics became bad when some certain persons started stealing from the government coffers and getting into different vices. Wow. Like I said, what an irony. All right, let's take a very brief listen to Yes on Wike. Oga cried though. Oga cried. Let's listen to him.
Where we're heading to. But let me tell you one thing. And I say today, this 7th of February, whoever is watching this program, whether you're a senator, whether you're a House of Reps member, whether you're a minister, or whether you're a governor, and you support betrayers, people who continue to betray you in life. Let me say it again. Whether you're a senator, whether you're a member of House of Representatives, whether you're a minister, and whether you're a governor, you sit down and support those who betray. Betrayal is your portion. Betrayal is your portion. Betrayal is your portion. And the day you will be betrayed, you will not have mouth to say anything. There you will collapse. And there you will go. And they will announce social person have died. Because that is the seed that you planted. Whatever you plant, you reap. Whatever you sow, you reap. So since you are sowing betrayal, betrayal will follow you everywhere. I have told you, and don't take it for granted. Watch. Watch. Every governor who is doing a second tenure, who has ambition to put a successor and is supporting betrayal, you will never survive it. You will never survive it. Betrayal will follow you. From the day your successor comes in, my own took so many months. Your own will start immediately that the president has been inaugurated. That is what the gods of the land.
There is fire on the mountain, hey, and nobody seems to be on the run. Okay, I'm sorry. Do you know I'm laughing? This is karma. Okay, so what happened to Peter Orderly? Okay, what happened to Patience Jonathan? What happened to Good Luck Jonathan? These were persons who actually elevated you, like literally elevated you politically. What happened with your relationship with Amechi? What happened to the things you had said before that you're currently doing now? Like, for real? And you're hurting? What did you expect? You cannot force nature. You cannot actually do something. Nature is weird. Like, for real, life is weird. Whatever you do always comes back. That's why, you need to remember when you're doing stuff. But hey, Wike has laid a course. So anybody who has been supporting Fubara in whatever it is that he's doing, he has caused that karma will follow you, and that anything that comes out of it, now your own business. Okay. Interesting. Things are unfolding. As you do know, in Rivers, a new radio station in support of Tinubu's mobilization for 2027 has been launched by Wike. You can say Wike is really galvanizing the grassroots strength. Actually, Wike seems to have it. I have Mr. Martins on over via the telephone. Mr. Martins, good evening.
Good evening.
Chief, good evening, sir. How are you?
I am very well, thank you.
Thank you so much, Martin Zanovo. Chief, here is a funny thing, sir. The political season is on its rife already. Things have begun. It's the Electoral Act, the review basically is what we're looking into, the Electoral Act reform. And something happened 2 days ago, I think on Friday or Thursday, and Nigerians have been reeling from it. Now, in response to everything that has been said, because there was a protest in Abuja, I think on Friday, there's also a protest that is to commence tomorrow to occupy the National Assembly already. They're saying they cannot continue. They're calling out opposition party politicians, specifically Peter Obi, Atiku Abubakar, and the likes, to stage a protest like Tinubu did in 2012 since they're the coalition. All right. So while all of that is ongoing and everybody is talking, what's his name? Godswill Akpabio has responded by telling us that based on the law, it is within the jurisdiction of INEC to decide how they intend to transmit elections, and that 9 states in the federation does not have network because of insecurity. So how has elections been ongoing in those areas? Because those areas carry out elections. Are they saying they will not record any voting pattern in those 9 states that they said there is no network because of insecurity? I mean, that is his defense to what the Senate decided to do, or what they talked about or agreed about after their closed door session on that. What's your reaction to this, sir?
We have to hold Godwill, whatever his name, Fabio, Senate President. We have to hold him personally responsible for this dysfunctionality. What do I mean? First is that the House of Reps agreed with mandatory real-time electronic transmission. That's number one. Number two is that reports we have is that even the Senate itself agreed with mandatory. In fact, one of the reports says 85% of senators agreed with mandatory real-time electronic transmission. So apparently, Akpabio is acting alone with impunity. And why am I making this conclusion? You can see the argument that happened on the Senate floor between him and Ali Ndume when he tried to remove Lalong, Senator Simon Lalong, from the Harmonization Committee. Because if you listen to Senator Baribe said that even the Senate Committee itself recommended mandatory real-time electronic transmission of results. So apparently, Akpabio is alone and is acting with complete impunity. Based on the testimonies we have heard from all the different credible sources. We have heard from Abaribe, we have heard from Senator Dume, We know what they tried to do with Simon Lalong. So the evidence is abundant that Akpabio is acting alone with complete impunity. And they have been called for his impeachment. So I think that all the Nigerian people need to hold Akpabio personally responsible for this, and we must also get him to finish his sexual harassment case.
All right.
Because this is vexation.
All right, Chief Martins. Basically, a lot of the opposition are being called out by saying that why have they not staged a protest with all that has been happening?
You cannot tell opposition what to do. Opposition knows what to do. You don't call out other people. All those people calling out other people, what have they done? It's their country too. They have to take responsibility. You call out opposition, you call out civil society, you call out who did you employ? Why do they think that the protest will solve the problem? What happened with the NSAS protest? What happened with end governance protest? Everybody is claiming to do everything. You want to teach opposition how to be opposition. Who are you? What experience do you have? So all those people calling out. It's not about marching on the street. Does Tinubu care if anybody marches on the street? You can march when you get tired, and that's if police does not tear gas you. The last time people tried to march, what happened with NSAS? What happened with M-Bank government? Everybody is pontificating. If you know what is right, do it yourself. I don't think, I belong to the opposition, I don't think we should march. It's not about marching.
All right, sir. Thank you very much. I want you to take a very close listen to this, sir. I'm going to be playing it out right now. This is one of the emirs in Kwara, the community that was decimated by terrorists. And in fact, there was another repeated attack 2 days after the last incident. Another one also happened in Benue State. Okay, so apparently the attack has been persistent. It hasn't stopped. Why exactly? Let's listen to one of the emirs here giving us an account of what happened and how the dastardly act took place.
There are some that are buried on the Christian right. There are some that have been affected that does not. Some that are not from that community, they have to take their corpse to different locations. There are some that are burned down in the church. Some they lock them inside their room and set it on fire. In fact, those that burns inside the rooms and shops, we cannot even identify some. We cannot count the number of people that are being burned down.
Did you?
I received the notification on the 10th of January, around 7:45, when the man came. The man is the Akimi of there's one small village about 4 kilometers from my community. According to him, they adopted him and forced him to bring the letter, or else they will kill him. And that is why he brought the letter to me. So when the letter came to me, immediately I WhatsApped the DSS in our local government headquarters. The following day, I took the letter to the Emirate Council, and the Emirate Council photostated the letter, and they sent it to write a letter in that respect and send it to the various appropriate quarters. That is what happened with regards to the notification. In the letter, they are coming down to preach. They say they are coming down to preach. That is the content of the letter. But there is no date, no time. They just say they are coming to preach. And that is just it. We have soldiers that are staying there. The bandits came over the night, and there's got exchange between the army and the bandit. Since then, they took away the soldiers, and that place remained open. There's not any security present, and that is why they came and spent almost 10 hours to do whatever they like.
Mr. Martins.
Yes.
Chief, please, can you react to this?
It's clear. It's not different from the stories in Plateau. This is the same story. The evidence is clear. It is beyond reasonable doubt that the APC is the direct sponsor of insecurity and terrorism in Nigeria. This is beyond any doubt. The evidence is super adequate. It is beyond what is required, even in a court of law. And don't forget that even a Canadian court has declared APC a terrorist organization. So I don't know what evidence anybody else is looking for. Do you want the evidence of the confession of Kawu Baraje Alhaji? People are looking at Kawu Baraje because he's not a media person. Kawu Baraje is the most powerful and the most strategic of all the four founders of APC. And he said that we imported this terrorist. But some people don't find the evidence sufficient. Okay, you don't find that evidence sufficient. General Danjuma, who commanded this same minister, told you that the armed forces are not neutral. They are colluding with the terrorists that are killing citizens. Okay, you can say it's old. He doesn't know what he's talking about. But the evidence of the Dubai court that convicted Nigerian terrorist financials, 6 of them, said they are linked to top government officials. General Buhari himself was the same person who said that dogs and baboons will be soaked in blood. How were dogs and baboons supposed to be soaked in blood? Dogs and baboons were supposed to be soaked in blood with the importation of this terrorist. As at the time, the APC imported the terrorists. Jagaban Tinubu was the national leader of APC. So he cannot claim to be unaware. Okay, Hajia Najatu Muhammad said that Jagaban Tinubu told her that he cannot fight insecurity because they will kill him. Who is they? They is to be his APC. But he cannot fight insecurity because they will kill him. Who is they? They is APC. If you have a different opinion, let me know. Let's talk about it. They will kill him. Who is that day? That day to me is APC. So it is naive for Nigerians, for the media, for the courts, for analysts to be expecting the APC government to fight their own terrorism. That is the highest level of morality and naivety. And it is many years ago, more than 10 years ago, that Abacha called us 200 million money. The morality in this country is frightening. That anybody can tolerate APC, that anybody can join APC, that anybody can defend APC, it is a mystery. It is a mystery. And I wish those people well, because until they themselves are kidnapped or burnt alive, they will not come to their senses. The facts are very, very clear. One court judgment in Canada, another court judgment in Dubai, confession of Kawu Baraje, statements by Buhari, sundry evidence by different other people, testimony of Commodore Olawuni of Defense Intelligence. So how much evidence are we looking for? We are telling ourselves that the Nigerian military cannot crush a bunch of ragtag vagabonds. How many of them? 10,000 ragtag vagabonds. This is the same Nigerian military that dropped Nigerian paratroopers beyond the enemy lines in Ekomog. Beyond enemy lines in Liberia in Ekomog. This is the same Nigerian military. This is the same Nigerian military where General Obasanjo, who was military head of state, who was president as commander-in-chief, told you people that it is easy to take care of these terrorists. So I don't know whether the people are jinxed, that anybody will have this kind of discussions, which you have had. It is the same problem with every sector. We have been discussing subsidy for how many years? More than 30 years. We have been discussing power problem for how many years? Now we have been discussing insecurity, this terrorism for more than 15 years. Because we just keep discussing without any purpose. We just like to talk. Empty talk. The facts are clear. It is the APC. Once we hold them responsible, this doesn't stop.
All right, Chief Martin Sonovo. Yeah, very, very interesting. I would say these are dicey times, and in as much as the schedule for campaign has not been released by INEC, because INEC said that there's a possibility that a lot of changes will be made. What we think may be may not what it will be. If we're thinking that campaigns will be sometime in November, we'll be surprised that elections may be taking place in November. It all depends on how the Senate is able to approve whatever it was they recommended in terms of updating the Electoral Act. And as it may seem like the opposition have not gotten their house in tandem. They've not gotten themselves ready.
No, the opposition knows better than you. Go ahead. I'm sorry to interrupt you. I'm very sorry.
All right, but the perception is not encouraging. A lot of Nigerians are complaining that there's no opposition. They don't know what they're doing. They seem to have been caught in the knee by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu because of his political sagacity. A lot of things that he did in 2012, the opposition cannot do it now. Well, that's the impression. That's the impression that is out there about the opposition. So nobody knows anything yet. But basically, there are talks that elections may take place in November. And if that's the case, we're already seeing Wike campaigning in the FCT, campaigning in Rivers, specifically Rivers. A new radio station has been set up right now, basically for the president's renewed hope agenda and the galvanization. Everything is already being in place, being the fact that he's now being touted as a political leader in Rivers. So let's look at the scenario. If INEC has not yet released a schedule, because primaries are expected to be conducted sometime in June by, political parties. If that is the perception, the impression given, do we think that politically the opposition is ready for any major election to take place as it stands now?
Well, the desperate and the paranoid activity of the ruling party, which you think is any preparation, I see as desperation. And that is why non-politicians cannot teach opposition politicians how to play the game. It's also true that in politics, you don't show all your cards. You hide your cards. So anybody expecting that the opposition will show all his cards is definitely not a politician. And if you're not a politician and you don't have political experience, you cannot teach us how to play politics. So I do not agree with those perceptions. Those perceptions are I'm not sure I have the right word, but they are not sophisticated in my own opinion. They're not based on experience. Really? Yes, when you look at people like Aregbesola, Secretary of ADC, and you look at people like Kwankwaso, and you look at people like Peter Obi, and you look at people like Atiku. I was a young engineer when Atiku first aspired for president in 1992-93. And now I'm a retiree. So these are not the people that you just come out of university, get 3 years experience. You have never contested for council, you start to teach them politics. You don't teach them politics. So these are very experienced politicians, and I can tell you they know what they're doing because I agree with some of the things they're doing. And therefore, what you are seeing as preparation and readiness, I'm seeing as paranoid desperation. The ruling party knows that it cannot win a free and fair election. It is an impossibility. It is an impossibility. Unless they will buy each vote for 1 million, which we know they can afford to buy based on the amount of money they have stolen. Also, it is naive not to understand what the opposition is up against with the lawless desperation of the ruling party. For them is do or die. And therefore, they are going to all extremes of lawlessness to achieve their objective. And if you show your hand too early, they are in power, they have time to crush you. So, let those, what will I call them? Oversabi people. If they think they know what's right, let them do it themselves. can tell you that the opposition is very rich in terms of experience, in terms of sophistication. So, what I'm seeing, what you people are calling preparation, is what I am seeing with my experience as a politician as desperation. The ruling party knows that it is going to lose. So Wike this, Wike that, Tinubu this, Tinubu that, PC this, APC that, is desperation. And nothing will stop them from it.
All right.
Nothing.
Sacking of the INEC chair. The Islamic Council of Sharia, in fact, they've given the president an ultimatum. They even staged a protest, sort of. It started gaining momentum for the past 2 days. They said they don't trust Professor Joash Amukwiton to conduct a free and fair election because of his write-up in 2020. Now, a couple of persons who may not have supported, some of the appointments made by President Tinubu are saying, if this is what these guys are saying, they will support Professor Joash Amukwiton. Because what exactly did he say that is not the truth as to what is currently ongoing with insecurity across the country? Albeit not just sidelined to Christians, but, even Muslims alike. The Kwara situation, Muslims were killed. But the thing now is this, they picked up and they're telling the president, like giving him an order, that if he doesn't sack Joash Amukwiton, they would not vote for him. What does that... Are we seeing the president having to listen to them?
Well, the first thing is that their grammar is contradicted. If Joash Amukwiton is going to read for Tinubu, then your vote will not count. So saying you will not vote for him, does it make sense? That's the first thing. The second thing is that in the desperation of the ruling party, they will not appoint anybody who will conduct a fair and fair election. We opposed the appointment of Joash Amukwiton. Yes, we did, publicly. And we gave our reason. Because if you remember the
Wike's report.
election reform panel report, they recommended that Rangers International cannot be playing against Kano Pillars, and then Kano Pillars will appoint the referee. It just doesn't make common sense. You need Justice Wise to tell you that. But that is the situation. Tinubu wants to go for a second term. He appoints Joash Amukwiton. We look at the man's official CV, and we see that there are things that are questionable in that field. What does that suggest to us? So we oppose it, but that is the position of the law as of today. So, well and good, we have to find other ways.
Yeah, but what is happening on religious ground? When Joash Amukwiton was nominated and appointed, this council, this Sharia of Islamic Council, said nothing. They didn't say anything up until Trump, raised up the alarm about a Christian genocide, and we began to see several persons who wrote a report exposing the rot and insecurity that had been bedeviling specifically the North Central. And Professor Joash Amukwiton actually stayed there for quite a while. So why didn't they make all these lamentations from that time? Why now? And how do you intend that their lamentation is credible? Is it coming from a realist perspective?
I already told you from my first comment was that their lamentation is contradictory. That's number one. Number two, I agree with you completely that the timing is sectional and parochial. I'm not agreeing with them. I am saying that we even previously, before them, opposed the appointment of Joash Amukwiton. So we did it immediately after the appointment was made, and we saw his TV. So we disagreed with the appointment, but that is the position of the law as of today. It is whoever is sitting in Asorok that appoint. I don't agree with the Islamic organization that is opposing based on religious we opposed based on his CV. That was the basis of our opposition. And we already know that in the desperation of the ruling party and with what happened in 2023, you see, elections don't get rigged in one day. No. The rigging is planned. Look look at 2023. First, they removed the head of IT and brought a pliable person. So it's the same thing. They have brought a pliable person as INEC chairman. But we're going to match all these people. We're going to match all these people. You can't come to the public and declare because journalists are asking you. You declare all your strategies and all your methods. Then your opponent will have time to counter it. So, we in the Credible Alternative Alliance, we are planning our own. The people in your coalition are planning their own. Civil societies are planning their own. And we have enough time. To me, you think we don't have time. I think we have enough time.
All right.
You think we don't have time. I think we have enough time. Even if the elections, which will not happen in November, even if they happen in November, we have enough time. 6 months is enough time.
All
And
right.
let me tell you, things don't get finalized until the candidates are formed. Until the candidates are known. Every other thing now is just preliminary. So I have divulged one secret to you. That's enough secret for you as a journalist.
Chief Martins,
We the politicians,
thank you so much.
we know that the final alignment does not take place until the candidates are known. We know that. Everything you're seeing now is preliminary. When the candidates are known, the final alignment takes place. So we know that. And don't forget that the APC in itself is in a terrible crisis.
Really? They seem coordinated.
Okay, don't forget that they're in power. When Yahaya Bello was in the anti-Tinubu group, the EFCC used all their resources to pursue one man. So, a lot of people in the FCC have seen that, and they don't want that. They know that if they rise too early, the government will pursue them. So they are waiting for the last minute. If you look at the interview Ngige granted before he was arrested, Ngige, former Minister of Labour, APC Minister of Labour, if you look at that interview, you will see he's not favorably disposed to Tinubu. Then he got arrested less than 2 weeks after. So there are a lot of, we have APC contacts. There are a lot of APC people who are waiting for Jagaban to do at the last minute. So all these things you journalists are speculating. Don't worry yourself. We are inside it.
All right. Chief Martins Onovo, thank you so much for taking your time to actually give us these insights. We sincerely do appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you. Chief Martins Onovo is a presidential candidate. Yes, he was a presidential candidate, and I think he's also aspiring as well as a presidential candidate. He has not yet disclosed the political party he intends to run with this time around, but he was once a presidential candidate of the NCP. Mr. Lawa Ekundayo, why are you laughing?
Conscience Party.
National Conscience
you didn't
Party,
say it's complete, a National Conscience Party.
Yes.
That was illegally deregistered by the Buhari administration. Deregistered the party. For no, the party you are not funding. You are not contributing anything that you are deregistering because they are so strong and they are from Gadifa where you mean what is set up for the people. So they didn't like that. So they want to erase whatever belongs to Gadifa way.
All right, Mr. Lawa Ekundayo, you have to respond to our callers when they ask questions because I want to open the phone lines now. Thank you so much. 08036929933, 08036929933, or you call the WhatsApp number 0817-1756-338, 0817-1756-338. I can see a couple of your messages on WhatsApp, but you call the number 08036929933. Yes, that's the number for you to call. Mr. Lawal, in summary, are you surprised with the current political development, especially with what Ojo Zakalo said?
See,
I mean, wasn't it ironical?
What we are so concerned about now is that electoral reform.
Okay.
It's like you put water in a pot without a fire, and then you are telling people that you are cooking something, they should wait, that the food will be done. Is that not a lie? That is what they are telling us, that they are doing a reform. What is reform in what they have done? Why did they bother to mention reform? They could just have left it the way it was. So they are telling us the reform, and there was nothing reformed about INEC. Because the reform about INEC is the credibility. And the credibility of INEC is for the result to be transmitted for everybody to see as we are voting. That is the reform of INEC. Anything outside that is no reform.
All right. 08036929933. That's the number. And the WhatsApp number is 0817-175-6338. Hello, good evening. Welcome, sir. How are you doing?
I'm fine. Good
Happy
evening.
Sunday.
I wish you the same, my sister. Mr. Ekundayo.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir. This is my first time reaching this station.
Are you for real? What's your name, sir?
I'm for real. This is Chikazie calling from Ijebu.
Wow.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Welcome,
Thank
sir.
you.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Please go
My
ahead, sir.
greeting, first of all, again, goes to Malam. Malam, what is that his name?
Malam Bello.
Malam Bello. Malam Bello. That man made me to be very happy yesterday. Yes, with the way he aligned his word. God bless him wherever he is. And for the rest of the people contributing in a better way on how to see that this country gets better, despite that Nigeria has expired. So now on the area of this killing in Kwara, I'm so saddened. I'm just so saddened. And the government have not said anything to my best of knowledge, and that is aside. We must Donald Trump this issue, just like former citizen of Nigeria now retired, Parkinson. We must solve this issue, or we Nepal this issue, without which we are not moving forward. We are not moving forward. The whole of this thing is so dastard and unacceptable. Honestly, my sister, God bless you for your good work. I think I've spoken tongue to Mr. Lawale Kundaya like this. So
Thank you.
Thank
you for calling, sir. Good evening, Esther. Mr. Kundaya, your guest, Chief Martin Sonovo, Solomon Asika from Mushi. Esther, there is no reasonable being in Nigeria today who doesn't know Nigerian state is failing. He or she either is living in oblivion or in denial of what's really going on. Esther, the way you busted into laughter while talking about Ojos Okalo, you were not able to hold back, tells a story. Everything happening is glaring. It's the insecurity or electoral reform which they declined from reforming it. Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Welcome, sir. How are you?
I'm fine. This is Gabriel from Lagos.
Gabriel from Lagos. Welcome, sir.
I think this is my first time of calling you.
Wow, amazing. Thank you for joining us, sir. Please go ahead.
Yes. I heard the man that talk that we discussed with. The question you say was former political
presidential candidate for NCP, National Congress Party. Yes.
This man is mentioning Atiku, mentioning Rufai, mentioning this and that, mentioning Aregbesola. These people, they are still the same of the bed of the same feather. What is he talking about? This man should be talking about new people. Those people we didn't know before. These are the people that have been in power. They have been in government, either governor, vice president. These people, they are inside. Look at Atiku. Atiku will be jumping from one political party to the other. Tinubu, I did not support Tinubu from the beginning, and it's not because I voted for him. But Tinubu stay in one political party, he may reform the political party till he get to the presidential distance. These people will be jumping from one political party to another just to actualize their ambition. This thing is just corruption. All these people we know, Atiku, Rufai even want to kill himself because of Tinubu, because he will now become a minister under Tinubu. If to say Rufai is a minister today, will he be criticizing Tinubu today? He will not be criticizing Tinubu today.
You place.
He will not be doing that today. So please, if they want to discuss about good people who can rule Nigeria apart from Tinubu, they should talk about new people. Those people have no idea Not those people who have been ruling us before, who have become governor, and you are now saying to come out. They cannot do anything against Tinubu because they are the same. They are the same. If Atiku become the president of Nigeria today, he has made a lot of statements before now that he will say he will do this, he will do that. Why is Obasanjo against Atiku till today? So please, these people, because they want their own ambition, this man that we interview, because he want to become president, is just castigating Tinubu, supporting Atiku. Atiku can do this. He's an experienced man, and all of them, they are the same. They are all the same. They are all the same. What we need is a new Nigeria, somebody who can come out with good idea, who have never been a governor, who have never been a minister, and come out and do the right thing for us. That's what we want in Nigeria, not the present set of people that are parading themselves about.
Mr. Lawal Kundai, he actually has a sense in what he's saying. No. I mean, if you look at the obvious political party members, Al-Rufai, Amici, this guy's just left the APC. The party of brigandage, as a couple of you analysts have been alleging. Al-Rufai literally worked for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And if he was given an appointment, would he have joined the ADC? Would he have said all that he's saying? So a couple of persons are saying, why don't we have a different set of politicians? Because they are the same crop of persons. There's the same cloth.
I'm sorry, I wanted to say Esther. I said INEC, imagine, because already in my head. Somebody is talking about fresh people. In this era that we have, which fresh person will win election in this Nigeria that we have? I'm asking, but somebody should tell me whether this system will allow any fresh person to come out and win. You can never do that. Look at Shore. Look at what they are doing to Shore. Anytime they say he should go and contest as a councillorship.
Thank you about Shore. Guys, Shore will be joining us today on Thursday this week. So kindly stay with us on Thursday. Amayele Shore will be coming in. Remember, we told you that most of the presidential candidates will be inviting them here live to tell us precisely why they should be considered and how their policies will be different from that of the current political party and President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Please go ahead.
I wish the president himself will come. Anyway,
and the president will not come.
Why not? Is he not a human being? Is he not a Nigerian? Is he not that means he see himself as not part of Nigeria if you don't come.
But we're inviting his spokesperson. So please go ahead.
Now, what I'm trying to say is this: you have the right to move from one party to another if you see that the ideology doesn't work with you. There's nothing wrong about that. It's like a job. If your job is not paying you, don't you have the right to move to another?
Obviously.
It's an ambition now.
Hello, good
that
evening.
Doesn't mean your ambition is wrong.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Welcome, sir. How are you?
No problem. I'm greeting all VOT listeners.
Thank you so much, sir. Welcome.
Yes, this is Chinemere from Agbara.
All right, Chinemere, go ahead, sir.
Yes, my own contribution in this, although I just joined.
You just joined? That means you didn't follow us from the onset.
Yes.
So how do you want to react to the issues now if you didn't follow us?
Yes, from the discussion I had, it is clear that we are discussing about the Electoral Act.
Yeah.
Yes, so because these have been the discussion from different fora some time now, how our Senate rejected, including mandatory transmission.
Yes, sir.
These people know that this, even Akpabio that is defending this thing, they were the people that were standing with the Supreme Court saying that clause in the Electoral Act was just ordinary transmission, and it is in the discretion of the INEC man to choose how to transfer or transmit election. And because of that, all this him and his cohorts, they are using that loophole to intimidate Nigerian people. Even him that is talking, he did not even mention that they included election intimidation. People that are coming to vote that are being intimidated.
Yes.
What will happen to those people that are threatening them?
You're right.
Nothing is included. But but he's just only hammering on mandatory, transmission. There are a lot of things that they're supposed to do in that.
You're very right, sir. The highlights of the Electoral Act amendment: rejected provisions. Mandatory real-time transmission of results was rejected. 10-year ban on vote buyers was rejected. 5 million naira fine and 2-year jail term for vote buying was rejected.
Yes, all these things are the problem that we are facing. They know these problems, no network, no power supply. Were these problems not there before they entered this administration? It was there.
All right, Chinemere, thank you so much. AB from Ekpe says it is Atiku Abubakar and Peter Obi that put us in this electricity problem we have today. Atiku Abubakar was in charge of PPP that privatized NEPA. Peter Obi was advisor to GEJ when PHCN was unbundled. All Atiku, Obi, Jagaban of them, including Jagaban, but Jagaban is a lesser evil. AB from Ekpe.
Where did you get that?
AB from Ekpe. Esther, how you say? Please, point of correction. Orderly, Patience, Amechi, they all took Wike up, but after 2015 election, they all abandoned Wike and PDP. Even GEJ abandoned them. Wike single-handedly fought Buhari, Nigerian Army, Ali Modu, Sharif, and Jimo Ibrahim, even at the expense of his life. And throughout Wike's 8 years as governor, he never left Orderly, GEJ, or Patience. He took care of them until they started supporting Fubara, who betrayed him. AB from Ekpe.
You want me to respond to that?
I thought you wanted to respond to what he said now.
Yeah, okay, let me start with the first one. It was Jonathan that actually privatized electricity. People keep saying it was he who converted it to this all these discos. And these discos came on board without any resources. They were just managing what they took over from NEPA that people were complaining about, and then they worsened the whole thing. That was the issue. So people I don't know why they keep blaming Obasanjo and
no, he didn't call Obasanjo. He says Atiku and
Peter.
No,
I'm saying Obasanjo and Atiku because they did the administration together. So where did he get his information? Second, they keep saying as if Nigeria is a property of some people where you negotiate and give it to your cronies. How can you say you betray Fubara? Fubara is a governor on his own. Supposed to rule his state for the 4 years, and people will decide whether he should continue or not. Not Wike that has already done his own term. He's already somewhere else, will be coming to disturb the governor, and some people are saying it as if it's the right thing.
And Wike is saying he's the one that bought him from now. He's the one that galvanized for him. That after all, it's not even PDP that won that election safe in Rivers. Now he work out the whole thing.
And the EFCC has not gone after him. The police have not gone. The DSS have not gone out for saying that. He's saying openly that he actually rigged the election in that state, and he's doing fine. And somebody said we are doing fresh people will come and we should vote for which fresh person will come in now.
Americana from Agos says, good evening.
With this level we are.
GOP, it's about time people start waking up, but they have to graduate from talking and go into action. Well, there's a proposed protest tomorrow at the FCT, so let's see how that goes. But on Tuesday, there's an emergency meeting. The senators were supposed to go on recess. The National Assembly was supposed to go on a 2-week recess after they refused the real-life transmission of election results. But with what happened on Friday and how a lot of persons have been talking about in the polity, there's supposed to be a proposed protest tomorrow at the FCT Capitol, at the National Assembly. But on Tuesday, there is going to be an emergency convergence at the National Assembly. Akpabio has actually sent that out to all the senators. So they're going to meet there, I think, by 10 or 12 noon. Well, the speculation is concerning about, the real-time electoral whatever. God knows what the emergency is. But yeah, that's it. Esther, good evening and special greeting to your guest tonight. Please, what are elders and former presidents doing? It seems they have left this battle of salvaging what is left in this country to the youth. Christians should not make mistake of allowing Muslim ticket in this nation. It's part of our problem today. It has increased insecurity. Evangelist Bovo, God's elect. Trust me, it's going to be a Muslim ticket in 2027 with the APC, so deal with that. Good evening, VOP, your guests in the House of Government. Tinubu has us to get ready to pay more money for electricity supply. Please, Nigerians should ask him where is our money in subsidy, taxpayers, and 210 trillion naira in NNPC. They should give the accountability of his government to the whole of Nigeria. Now he has been spending our money. Eze Uku from Son of Grace. Esther, good evening. Unknown person can't win election in Nigeria. We should remember Reverend Chris Okote that said in 2003 that God has rejected President Obasanjo. Unknown persons can never win general elections in Nigeria. AB from Ekwe always talks without facts. It is unfortunate supporting political parties blindly. Correct from Bariga. All right, final call this evening, and then we call it a wrap. Hello? Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Yes, what's your name, please?
Mrs. Emmanuel, first-time caller.
First-time caller, Mrs. Emmanuel, your line is not too good. But welcome. Please quickly go ahead.
Okay, please, what I want to say is concerning this game. The thing is too much. In fact, I don't even know how to say. Do you know that even yesterday, my customer, he was crying before please. If people are there to give us this information, if there is any how people can still help us more so that this killing of 15 will stop. Please, I'm just begging because it's not good for us hearing it every day.
The line is really poor. Okay. All right, thank you, ma'am. But I think she said she heard something that they set people ablaze. Where?
And she send a message.
Please send a message.
Yes,
we couldn't really hear you well, please. It was very poor. I would like to know.
Send a WhatsApp.
Clearly, I would like to hear clearly what you said. Please, we need to wrap up in a few seconds. What's your final take?
Well, what I'm going to say is that Nigerians should not give up. This protest tomorrow should involve the whole Nigerians because this is the future. And the moment we miss this INEC, that is gone. The moment this INEC is not free and fair, they didn't do free and fair election, is gone. So there's nothing like election. They should try to forget it. If you cannot try, I vote, and my vote, I know that this is where I voted.
Okay.
If it's not there, then forget about the election.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. We sincerely do appreciate you. God bless you for being consistent with VOP. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.